Midday sun is shining down on Miller's rolling hills. A quilt of green and ruby red, my heart just takes a spill. Got this faded wicker basket resting on the ground. The sweetest smell of summer earth is floating all around. I find a perfect crimson prize, warm from the afternoon, and toss it to that easy smile that makes me slightly swoon. Oh, the summer breeze is blowing through the leaves, so green and new. We're laughing in the sunshine beneath the sky of blue, with berry-stained fingers and love so tried and true. I'm sifting through the harvest bay, and I'm picking the sweetest ones just for you. 3 years ago, the county fair had packed up all its tents. I was wandering down these very roads without a lick of sense. Forgot to bring a bucket, had berries falling down my sleeve. Then you stepped out from the sunflowers, made my heart believe. You held out this old basket, an acoustic on your back. We spent the whole day running all the way down the dirt track. Oh, the summer breeze is blowing through the leaves, so green and new. We're laughing in the sunshine beneath the sky of blue, with berry-stained fingers and a love so tried and true. I'm sifting through the harvest bay, and I'm picking the sweetest ones just for you. Now you spin me by the wooden fence, a dizzy, joyful blur. Your kiss tastes just like sunshine. Of that I'm mighty sure. This ain't just a fleeting fling or a season passing by. It's the bedrock of our lifetime. Underneath the open sky, now the golden hour is fading and the crickets start to play. I'm looking at the basket, but I'm thinking about our days, with a heart full of forever and a love so deep and true. Out of all the moments in this life, I'm picking the sweetest ones just for you. Yeah, out of all the years I have to give, I'm picking
lights falling on the starlight screen. Cotton candy sky and a neon gleam. Got this rented 72 cherry red ride with a striped popcorn bucket right by my side. That tinny old speaker is crackling loud. Some black and white hero drawing a crowd. But honestly, baby, it's just background noise when I hear the sweet ringing sound of your voice. Cause she throws her head back and starts to laugh, tosses a kernel that bounces right back. She asks what the man on the screen just said. I shake the salt off my denim instead. Yeah, the silver screen's glowing, the actors are loud, but looking at her, I'm missing the whole show right now. Saved up my diner tips a couple of weeks just to see that bright smile pull up on her cheeks. Roll down her driveway, drop the canvas top, wind in her hair, praying this night wouldn't stop. Smell of the summer rain, fresh cut grass, building a memory I know is gonna last. Yeah, I wanted a night from a classic old tune, just me and my girl underneath the sweet moon. Cause she throws her head back and starts to laugh, tosses a kernel that bounces right back. She asks what the man on the screen just said. I shake the salt off my denim instead. Yeah, the silver screen's glowing, the actors are loud, but looking at her, I'm missing the whole show right now. Now the night is deep indigo, stars shining bright. She reaches for butter and our fingers collide.
Sweet
A rush of pure lightning right out of the blue. Ain't Hollywood magic, it's just me and you. Yeah, simple front seat under 50-foot lights is the foundation to the rest of my life. The credits are rolling, the car horn sound, V8 engine rumbling right out of this town. She slides on the bench seat to rest on my arm, safe from the world, yeah, she's keeping me warm. She asks if I liked it, I pull her in tight. I whisper a secret right into the night. Let the world and its bright lights just fade away. You're the only beautiful thing in my day. Yeah, forever and ever, wherever we go. Looking at you, baby, I'm missing the whole show. Missing the whole show. Yeah, you're the only story for me. Just missing the whole show. The October breeze smells like hickory smoke, walking hand in hand to the ancient oak. Copper and honey leaves falling right on down. We're stepping to the beat right outside of town. Got Grandpa's pocket knife, the blade is shining bright. I open it up in the golden hour light, just scraping back the bark right where we stood, making our letters look mighty good. An A and a B and a plus sign too. A sunny afternoon, just me and you. Yeah, it's just a simple pastime, feeling good, leaving a mark on the old oak wood. The fresh pale timber takes me back to 78. Spun sugar and popcorn, man, we stayed out late. Over the fiddle band, I heard you laugh out loud, handed you a sweet tea, stepping through the crowd. Two-tone Ford pickup, wind in our hair, porch swing creaking in the warm country air. Just scraping back the bark right where we stood, making our letters look mighty good. An A and a B and a plus sign too. A sunny afternoon, just me and you. Yeah, it's just a simple pastime, feeling good, leaving a mark on the old oak wood. Now I look at this tree standing steady and tall through the howling winds. It never did fall, just like our love, our roots tangled deep. A bulletproof promise that we're gonna keep. Now we're standing right here where we always stood, with a love that is beautiful, pure and good. I carved a perfect heart around me and you, a golden promise that will always shine true. It ain't just a Sunday carving, like I said I would. We're forever leaving a mark on the old oak wood. Built to last forever, right here on the old oak Tennessee breeze, sweet honeysuckle blowing through the trees. Iced tea sweating on the wraparound porch. We left our chores right there at the door. Rolled up denim and a shallow stream, water sparkling like a waking dream. You kick a wave right at my chest, I pull my red bandana out, put it
to the test. I grab your waist and I spin you around, right where the brightest light touches the ground. 'Cause the water is cold but the feeling is right, dripping in diamonds of afternoon light. I'll twirl you around where the willow tree breaks, steer you away from the shadows it makes. Yeah, it's a barefoot dance when the day is done, keeping your smile in the sun. Looking at you laughing, my mind wanders back to a two-tone Chevy on a dirt road track. Williamson County and the Ferris wheel lights, we had empty pockets but a million sights. Pennies in a mason jar up on the shelf. I wanted this farmhouse for you and myself. The day we bought it, grass overgrown, we ran to this creek, claimed it as our own, built a beautiful life from the mud and the stones. 'Cause the water is cold but the feeling is right, dripping in diamonds of afternoon light. I twirl you around where the willow tree breaks, steer you away from the shadows it makes. Yeah, it's a barefoot dance when the day is done, keeping your smile in the sun. Now the golden hour's falling, the shadows grow long, the splashing slows down like the end of a song. I take that faded red cloth from my jeans, dab the sweet water right off of your cheeks, tie your hair back, look deep in your eyes, realize I won the absolute prize. 'Cause the water is cold but the feeling is right, dripping in diamonds of afternoon light. But the shadows of willows ain't all that I see. There's a whole lot of world trying to get to you and me. So no matter how dark the long winter gets, I'll be the man who never forgets to shield you from sorrow when hard times come, keeping your smile in the sun. Yeah, whatever the weather, whatever may come, I'm keeping your smile in the sun. The house is waking up before the rest of the town. I hear those sparrows singing, passing melodies down. Sounds just like a mandolin plucking on a string, while that rich roasted chicory does its magical thing. I slip on my robe, walk the hardwood floor, and follow that sweet humming out the screen door. You're leaning on the railing, looking out at the green, at the brightest field of sunflowers the world's ever seen, holding two porcelain mugs from a dusty old stand, with a boyish little smile and a pot in your hand. You tip that silver spout right into my cup, pouring the morning sunshine, waking me up. Painted yellow flower takes me back to '85. Windows roll down, just glad to be alive. Beat beat-up Chevy truck on a canopy dirt road, a fiddle on the radio, lightening the load. Found these mismatched cups at a county fair day. You said for our front porch and it swept me away. Now your vintage acoustic rests by the rocking chair. We planted all those seeds with a dream and a prayer. Through the cold fried chicken suppers and the records we spun, we laid a foundation underneath the southern sun. Now we're standing right here where the time moves slow, just watching the seeds of a beautiful life grow. You're leaning on the railing, looking out at the green, at the brightest field of sunflowers the world's ever seen. Holding two porcelain mugs from a lifetime ago, with a steady, quiet love that continues to grow. You pull me in close, completely making me whole. Pouring the morning sunshine right into my soul. Good morning, beautiful. Morning sun is breaking on the blue lake's glassy shine, breathing in the summer air and green mountain pine. You're sitting in the bow, trailing fingers in the cool. That straw hat and yellow ribbon always make me play the fool. Got this vintage red canoe sitting right beneath the sky, and I ain't in no hurry as the morning passes by. So I lay this cedar paddle on my faded denim knees. Ain't no rush to get nowhere, just riding on the breeze. The water's shining like a diamond, sweet and wild and free. Today we're just drifting with the current, letting the water take the lead. Looking at that ribbon takes me back to the county fair. Neon lights and sweet tea and the magic in the air. I used to fight the tide, always rushing to the next, but you smiled right through a summer rain and laid my soul to rest. You put your hand on my white knuckles, told me just to breathe, and showed a restless wandering boy the joy of simply being. So I'll lay this cedar paddle on my faded denim knees. Ain't no rush to get nowhere, just riding on the breeze. The water's shining like a diamond, sweet and wild and free. Today we're just drifting with the current, letting the water take the lead. Now we're singing an old Williams tune echoing across the hills, and my anxious, heavy heart is finally lying still. A pair of mallards flying by, the wind is keeping time. I look at you and realize this beautiful life is mine. I found my happy ending in a boat built for two. So I'll hold on to your hand Yeah, the future's looking bright. Even if the water's chopped, I know we'll be alright. Through the years and through the seasons, whatever life decrees, I'm forever drifting with the current, letting the water take the lead. Yeah, as long as I am with you, I'm letting the water take the lead. Let it roll, let it shine. Tailgates down on the 82 Chevy, mason jar sweating, the summer air's heavy. Got a red and white blanket spread out in the bed, and a sky full of Carolina blue overhead. You're swinging your bare feet, laughing out loud, miles and miles from the city and the crowd. Yeah, we traded the Sunday brunch and the bill for a ham sandwich out on Miller's Hill. Got a tank full of gas and a hand I can hold. No, we don't need a diamond to know we've struck gold. Just a few hours back I was covered in grease when you pulled up the drive like a sweet summer breeze, in a yellow cotton top and some faded cut-off. Said drop that wrench, boy, turn the engine off. We took the long way, kicking up the white dust, singing out of tune, just the wind and just us. Yeah, we traded the Sunday brunch and the bill for a ham sandwich out on Miller's Hill. Got a tank full of gas and a hand I can hold. No, we don't need a diamond to know we've struck gold. Now the crumbs are all gone and the afternoon's fading. I'm watching your fingers, the green stems you're braiding, just pulling the weeds from the dirt by the tire. But the look in your eyes sets my whole heart on fire. Right here in the clover I finally see you're the only forever that matters to me. You slide that green ring on my left hand, the sweetest little vow in the whole promised land. It ain't made of silver, it can't be bought or sold, but we don't need a diamond to know we've struck gold. Yeah, with a ring made of clover and a hand I can hold. We don't need a diamond to know we've struck gold. Struck gold in the clover, yeah, we struck gold. Shining bright on the county fairgrounds, sawdust flying to a lively fiddle sound. Smell of roasted peanuts on a summer breeze. I stepped right up, said give me 3 throws, please. Sent those milk bottles crashing to the hay. The carney rang the bell, yeah, it was my lucky day. I handed you a mountain of bright spun sugar and a giant blue bear that couldn't be hugger. Your smile lit up the whole midway sky, reflecting in the sparkle of your pretty brown eye. Walking hand in hand underneath the blue skies, yeah, I'm taking home the grand prize. Tasted that sweet sugar melting on my tongue, took me right back to when the summer was young. You buy the jukebox at the Main Street diner, dropping in a quarter couldn't look no finer. Sundays on the porch with a glass of sweet tea, I promised I'd win you the biggest thing I see. I handed you a mountain of bright spun sugar and a giant blue bear that couldn't be hugger. Your smile lit up the whole midway sky, reflecting in the sparkle of your pretty brown eye. Walking hand in hand underneath the blue skies, yeah, I'm taking home the grand prize. Now the sun is dipping low behind the Ferris wheel, the midway slows down, making everything surreal. Sticky sugar fingers and a cotton candy kiss, ain't no game of chance that ever felt like this. I'm looking in your eyes and I finally see a lifetime of you and a lifetime of me. Yeah, we finished off the mountain of bright spun sugar. You're carrying that bear, but I just wanna hug you. Your smile is lighting up the neon midnight sky, and I just made a promise as I looked into your eye. I'm folding up this paper cone to keep it all my life, 'cause one day soon I'll ask you to be my loving wife. Yeah, that blue bear's riding shotgun, but I'm the lucky guy. Forever and always you and I'm taking home the grand prize. I'm taking home the grand prize.
July sun beating down on a two-tone Chevrolet, knuckles bruised and greasy, wrestling the afternoon away. Cicadas humming heavy in the Georgia pecan trees, when the screen door softly slaps and brings me a little breeze. She steps out in a sundress, yellow gingham towel in hand, two tall glasses, sweating ice, the finest in the land. I wipe the grit right off my brow and sit down at her feet. She's my shade tree in the summer, my oasis in the heat, handing me a glass of sunshine, making everything complete. When the engine's running rough and the day's a heavy lifter, she's always pouring out the sweet to cut the bitter. I took a sip and suddenly the driveway disappeared, spun back to a Ferris wheel, the best of 7 years. A dusty broke down farm boy at the county road terrace stand. Spent my last $5 just to take it from her hand. She had that same bright optimism shining in her eyes, a magic born of crushed ice under neon painted skies. 'Cause she's my shade tree in the summer, my oasis in the heat, handing me a glass of sunshine, making everything complete. When the engine's running rough and the day's a heavy lifter, she's always pouring out the sweet. Back here on the front porch steps, my hands are stained with oil. felt a little guilty for the dirt and all the toil.
She took that yellow cotton, wiped the grease right off my face, leaned in for a lemon kiss, and covered me in grace. She's the foundation of this house, the comfort when I'm weak, the joyful country melody my tired heart needs to speak. When life is running rough and the world's a heavy lifter, she's my lifelong love, the sweet to cut the bitter. Yeah, my forever girl, the sweet to cut the bitter. Sun going down on the Chevy, just you, me, and the lemonade. Sunday morning sunshine pouring on the concrete floor, got the old radio singing through the open garage door. Scent of fresh cut cedar wood and dark roast coffee beans, just you and me in our faded denim jeans.
You're leaning on the workbench with that bright and easy smile, handing me the hardware from a mason jar of nails.
Just a couple more boards, honey, and we'll have it made. Working side by side in the golden morning shade, with a heavy frame and hammer and a love that understands. We're piecing it together with our own two hands, for the robins and the bluebirds waiting in the old oak tree. We're building up a shelter sturdy as can be, got the green tin roof pulled tight and grand. We're just making a place to land. The hammer takes my wandering mind away to the rolled down windows of our younger, wilder days, chasing neon county fairs across the state line in the truck, surviving on sweet tea and a whole lot of luck.
But two untethered souls get tired of the breeze, so we traded all our highway miles for a porch and dogwood trees.
Every midnight coat of paint, every pizza on the floor was a nail driven deep into forever's open door. With a heavy frame and hammer and a love that understands, we're piecing it together with our own two hands, for the robins and the bluebirds waiting in the old oak tree. We're building up a shelter sturdy as can be, got the green tin roof pulled tight and grand. We're just making a place to land. Nudge me in the ribs and say don't fall asleep on me. I reach my dusty hand out and you fill it perfectly. A spark of electricity when your fingers brush my own. It takes a million little moments just to build a happy home.
Like the mandolin and banjo, we're playing perfectly in time.
Yeah, the rhythm of this life with you is sweet and perfectly in rhyme. With a heavy frame and hammer and a love that understands, we pieced it all together with our own two hands, stepping out into the yard as the summer rain rolls in. I pull you to my chest and I kiss your cheek again. We hung it from the branches, but as I hold your hand, I see the life we built, a love that's meant to stand. 4 Two wandering hearts that finally found their home. We made us a place to land. Yeah, we made us a place to land. Right here in your arms. Sunday morning, sunshine pouring like honey from a jar. Walking down the county square, not a worry, not a care so far. Got your arm looped right through mine, stepping to a bouncing beat. Old man Henderson tips his hat from across the dusty street. Mrs. Gable hands me daisies in a crinkled paper sack, while you taste that local clover, honey, smiling, looking back. I got bright yellow blooms and a little sugar on my tongue. A perfect Sunday morning song just waiting to be sung. With these mason jars and paper bags, I look at you and smile. Yeah, I'm taking home the sweetest thing I ever found in quite a while. Takes me back to 78, selling corn from Daddy's Ford. You marched up in scuffed up boots and you struck a major chord. Haggled me for every dime with a sparkle in your eye, while the smell of summer rain was brewing in the sky. That dirt road drive at sunset with the windows rolled right down, planted seeds of this good life right here in this little town. We got bright yellow blooms and a little sugar on our tongue. A perfect Sunday morning song that's always being sung. With these mason jars and paper bags, I look at you and smile. Yeah, I'm taking home the sweetest thing I ever found in quite a while. Now the baker's sharing secrets on a flaky peach pie crust. Every face around this square is a face we've come to trust. When that fiddle hits the high note, I pull you for a spin, right there in the busy aisle where the best years all begin. We're walking to the pickup, heavy totes upon our arms, leaving all the bustle of the local farmer's charms. I brush a stray hair from your face beneath that open blue. Look at all this harvest, but my eyes are fixed on you. Forget the honey in the bag, darling, look at what we've built around. I'm taking home the sweetest thing I ever found. The sweetest thing I ever found. dust dancing round in a golden glow. We're rolling along on cyan blue, a vintage machine just made for two. Hear the click-clack rhythm of a freshly oiled chain. Wild honeysuckle in the summer lane. I flick this silver bell, hear it ring out clear, with your laughter like music right in my ear. And the gravel gets steep and the tires spin slow. We got a long way to pedal and a long way to go. My legs are burning, but I'm feeling fine, 'cause I don't mind the uphill climb, as long as you're holding on behind. 3 months back she was rust and bone, sitting by a hay stall all alone. $20 bill and a straw hat smile, said we'd be riding in a little while. Out on the porch in the evening breeze, sanding off the years with some grease on our knees. The radio humming a steel guitar tune, building up a promise underneath the moon. And the gravel gets steep and the tires spin slow. We got a long way to pedal and a long way to go. My legs are burning, but I'm feeling fine, 'cause I don't mind the uphill climb, as long as you're holding on behind. Testing every gear we got. Sun is heavy and the day is hot, but I feel you stand up pushing with your might, making this heavy load feel so light. It ain't about the speed, it ain't about the view, it's the unshakable trust of moving forward with you. Yeah, the gravel of life gets rough and slow. We got a lifetime to pedal and a lifetime to go through the valleys and mountains. Baby, I'll be fine, 'cause I don't mind the uphill climb, as long as you're holding on behind. Yeah, holding on behind. Through the years and the miles, just you and me. Just ring that silver bell. Sunday morning sunshine through the open lace, smell of fried bacon filling up the place. There's a vintage record spinning on the floor, and I'm standing in my Levi's by the screen door. I grab that yellow broomstick, hop upon the couch. Springs are squeaking loud, but there ain't no doubt I'm the biggest star this living room has ever seen. Yeah, the floral sofa's bouncing to a bluegrass beat. Got my worn out boots stomping up the heat, pointing this'll handle at the empty chairs, giving it my all like the whole world cares. Thank you, Nashville, I'm howling at the moon. Yeah, I'm playing to a sold out room. Mary, you're just laughing in your corduroy chair. Takes me back to 76 at the county fair. I was singing on a plywood stage, a skinny teenage fool. Smell of funnel cakes and the August heat was cruel. Everybody walked right past playing midway games, but you stood there in your yellow dress,
the sweet attention in your bright brown eye. Yeah, the floral sofa's bouncing to a bluegrass beat. Got my worn out boots stomping up the heat, pointing this'll handle at the empty chairs, giving him all like the whole world cares. Thank you, Nashville, I'm howling at the moon. Yeah, I'm playing to a sold out room. We traded neon signs for a lumberyard check, a wrap around porch and a kiss on the neck. I don't need a platinum record hanging on the wall, and I can act a fool and catch you when you fall. Drop the yellow broomstick and I take your hand, pull you from the chair to my imaginary band. The needle's hitting static, but I pull you near, whisper something sweet that only you can hear. I'll never need a stadium, honey, late or soon, 'cause when you look at me like that, I'm always playing to a sold out room. Yeah, sold out room. It's you and me, babe. Sunlight streaming through the gingham at 8:30. Got the coffee brewing hot, setting up the plates. You're standing in your faded denim apron, working that old cherry wood, rolling pin, baking something great. A puff of white flies up and catches on your nose. You sneeze and blink at me, and that's just how it goes. There's flour on the counter, there's powder on the floor, but looking at you, darling, I just love you more. We're spinning to the radio in your Sunday dress. Yeah, honey, we're making a beautiful mess. Takes me right back to the day we bought this farmhouse. Nothing but a mattress and a hand-me-down box. We bought 3 gallons of that bright yellow paint. Didn't lay a drop cloth, just wore out our socks. Midnight came and we were covered head to toe, eating cold fried chicken in the afterglow. There's flour on the counter, there's powder on the floor, but looking at you, darling, I just love you more. We're spinning to the radio in your Sunday dress. Yeah, honey, we're making a beautiful mess. Now you're throwing King Arthur right at my chest, slipping on the linoleum, putting my balance to the test. I catch you by the waist and we start to twirl. You're the sweetest thing in my whole wide world. Look at this kitchen, look at this life. I'm so lucky you're my beautiful wife. It ain't just the flour or the paint on the floor, it's every open road and every open door, through all the crazy years, the building and the test. Forever, my darling, we're making a beautiful mess. Yeah, beautiful mess. Just you and me, and that rolling pin. Tuesday afternoon in early June. Got a silver radio playing a fiddle tune. Sun's pouring down on this Tennessee grass while we're fixing up the things that my granddaddy passed. Got a gallon of enamel and a steady aluminum ladder with you right beside me. Nothing else could matter. We're slapping on the color, washing out the gray, chasing all the shadows of the old times away. With a heavy bristle brush and a bucket of dreams, we're bursting at the seams. From the weather-beaten wood to the roof overhead, we're painting the faded years cherry red. Now you're swimming in a pair of oversized overalls, catching every drop of the crimson as it falls. Takes me right back to that county fair night when you spilled sweet tea on my boots in the neon light. You just threw back your head and you started to laugh, and I knew right then I wanted you on my path. Now there's sweat on my brow and a smudge on your nose. You hand me a cold mason jar, and heaven only knows how a quiet old farm and a lonely young man found a vibrant new life right here in your hand. So I set down my glass and I pull you in close for a barefoot two-step where the sweet clover grows. We're slapping on the color, washing out the gray, chasing all the loneliness I used to know away. It ain't just a barn and the roof overhead, it's a beautiful, magnificent life just ahead. Yeah, my heart was a ghost town, but you woke it up instead. And now we're painting the faded years cherry red. Just look at that bottom half shine, darling. Cherry red. Washing out the gray. Cherry red. Sitting on the Ford tailgate at the end of the day. Sunlight falling through the old oak leaves, catching the hem of a faded denim dress. Hear that thick hemp rope creaking in the breeze, Bermuda grass and a summer wind's caress. You're flying high on a white wall tire, laughing loud and looking back at me. You smile and say, honey, send me a little higher, up into the branches of this golden canopy. Well, just keep your boots pointed up at the blue. Don't you worry about the branches or the brush, 'cause I'll always be right behind you, giving you that extra push. 5 years back we bought this dusty land, waist-high weeds and a sagging porch to clean. We dug that tire out with our bare hands. You looked around and saw a beautiful dream.
tied a sturdy knot on a humid July day. Spun a classic record while we drank our sweet tea. And you smiled and said, honey, send me a little higher, up into the branches of this golden canopy. Well, just keep your boots pointed up at the blue. Don't you worry about the branches or the brush, 'cause I'll always be right behind you, giving you that extra push. Then came the autumn of your flower shop dream. Your hands were shaking, holding that business plan. We've worn this old rope smooth at the seams, and I promised I'd always be your steady man. Whenever you need the courage to fly, I'll be the one lifting you to the sky. So whether you're swinging in the fading sun, or chasing down a dream in the big wide world, when the uphill battle has only just begun, I'm right here with you, my beautiful girl. Through every season my promise is true. Yeah, I'll always be right behind you, giving you that extra push. Yeah, that extra push. Right behind you, darling. Always. The sun just slipped behind the distant tree line, painting up the evening in purple, pink, and gold. I left 2 sweet teas sitting on the porch rail. Got a vintage mason jar that's heavy and cold. The crickets are tuning up their bluegrass band, while you're dancing barefoot right across our land. You're spinning in your sundress in the warm summer air, 1,000 yellow lanterns floating everywhere. You point a slender finger into the fading night, saying, hurry up, slowpoke, bring that jar right here. We're out here trying to catch the light. Watching you run takes me back 5 Julys, to the smell of funnel cake at the county fair. I missed every throw at the rig ring toss, but you just grabbed my hand and led me out of there. Then it was roll down windows in my Chevy truck. Now we're painting green shutters, just thanking our luck. Now you're spinning in your sundress in the warm summer air, 1,000 yellow lanterns floating everywhere. catch the light. You trip on the grass and I dive to the ground. We tumble in the dew, laughing out loud. There's a single glowing spark resting on your shoulder, illuminating the woman that makes me so proud. From the girl in my Chevy to the heart of my home, this right here is the greatest love I've ever known. So I leave that empty jar resting in the green, the most beautiful picture that I've ever seen. I pull you close to my chest in the starry night. No more running through the dark, no more chasing sparks, 'cause holding you I've already caught the light. Yeah, I've already caught the light. My golden firefly. Sun pouring down on the fair, smell of spun sugar and sweet corn in the air. We stood by the table with the red checkered cloth, waiting on the judges to finally sign off. Then that stern-looking woman broke out in a grin, pinned a bright blue ribbon where the others had been. My girl started crying, a tear on her cheek, and over the loud crowd I heard my girl speak. She threw her arms up, shouted out to the skies, "Can you believe it, honey? Look at this prize, the undisputed queen of the Mercer County Fair, with a blue silk ribbon and the wind in her hair." Yeah, the judges all agreed, it was plain to their eyes, she's taking home the grand prize. My mind tumbled back to our farmhouse scene, to the wild summer berries we picked by the brink, a scratched dolly record spinning round on the floor, while she kneaded the dough till her fingers were sore. She poured all her love in that sweet lattice top, a recipe of joy that just couldn't stop. Our whole little life baked right in that tin. I knew long before the judge let her win. She threw her arms up, shouted out to the skies, "Can you believe it, honey? Look at this prize, the undisputed queen of the Mercer County Fair, with a blue silk ribbon and the wind in her hair." Yeah, the judges all agreed, it was plain to their eyes, she's taking home the grand prize. Called her name over a loud tin roof, and I couldn't just stand there, I had to give proof. With a whoop and a holler I grabbed her right then, hoisted her up on my shoulders again, shouted, "That's my wife, y'all the best in the state." Right there in that moment, man, life sure was great. Now we're driving back home in the fading sunlight, the ribbon on the dash looking shiny and bright. I reached for her hand as the radio plays, thinking thinking about spending the rest of my days with the undisputed queen right here by my side, just looking at her with a whole lot of pride. Yeah, that pie sure was sweet, but looking in her eyes, yeah, I'm taking home the grand prize. Yeah, I'm taking home the grand